Hello, and welcome to Rosa Laura. If this is your first time visiting the channel, it's so lovely to meet you. And if you're returning, it's so wonderful to have you back. My name is Rosa. I'm a digital artist, and today I'm doing something fun for my friends. One of my friends recently decided that they wanted to run a game of costume fairy adventures, and I've actually played in this system before, all of one time, and me and my party were a little bit too focused for this game. If you know, you know. If you've ever played Costume Fairy Adventures, it's a very free-flowing game that really benefits from players that are willing to have a lot of fun, bend the rules a little bit, have a little bit of chaos thrown into the mix, and oftentimes me and the usual parties that I run with are a little bit too focused. But when my friends said that they wanted to put together this really fun little one-shot, I said, yes, absolutely. And the entire concept was using characters that already exist. So some characters I've actually played with at the same table, like Sorrel. I've DM'd for some of the characters, like Mitzi, and I played Semivai. The other two characters, Lucida and Maxis, I haven't personally played at with the table, but they're really amazing characters, and I've heard a lot about them. So I had a pretty good baseline of their characters going into this little paint session. Nobody else at the table knew that I was doing this, save for the DM, and that made for a really fun experience. Originally, I drew everyone in clothes that matched their overall settings and aesthetics. Lucida, for example, is a science fiction-based character who usually wears like a jumpsuit or a hard suit. She's a character from Lancer. Maxis is a character who is near and dear to my heart. He is a fan troll. We respect Homestuck in this house, by the way, as terrible as it is. I loved Homestuck back in the day. I'm a big Intermission fan. And Mitzi was a character from a cyberpunk-style game. It was a homebrew called the Icarus games that me and one of my partners put together for fun, and it was run on the Lasers and Feelings engine, which was a really awesome time. And of course, Semivai was one of my D&D characters. So I had a good understanding of all the characters from Jump, as I was either familiar with their players or I had seen art of them before, and in the case of Maxis, I actually helped to develop the character a little bit throughout his development. So the idea of being able to do all of this without anybody knowing was pretty easy for me, which I was really glad for. Some of the characters came a little bit easier than others when it came to adapting to more plant-based outfits. I was surprised by, how quickly everybody came together, though. And the jewel tones in Mitzi's outfit, the lovely reds in Maxis, and of course, the beautiful autumnal tones in Sorrel's would-be kilt are all so special to me. There's nothing better than being able to put together a surprise for your friends, and I think that's why I was so passionate about this project. I did this over the course of about 2 days. It took me probably around 5 or so hours to get all of these guys done, and I wanted to make sure that everybody was really up to snuff. It was important to me that when everybody looked at their characters, they saw hallmarks of those OCs and saw that they had been seen and respected. There was actually only one big mistake that I made, and that was I forgot that Sorrel has black hair, not brown hair, and in the final iteration of his drawing, you can see that I have changed his hair color. We had so much fun at the table. At time of recording, it's been only 2 days since we finished this one-shot. We got lost in a spooky, scary woods. We brought a young princess's dad back to life, who we referred to as King Dad. Semivai and Maxis together had a snail baby named the Snaby that we gave fairy wings, and then it was accidentally turned into an actual baby, which Semivai then named Winner. And then we had to go home by, of course, dropping ourselves in a magical lake. But before then, we had to get through the Toad Prince's wedding. He was a toad who was cursed, or rather, he was a frog that was cursed into being a toad, right? And so it was really hard to get a fairy to agree to marry him. But of course, Mitzi stepped up to the challenge, got on her little wedding dress, and we had a WWE style tag team fight to see who would be able to marry the frog prince, actually, the frog toad prince, by beating up his fiancée to be, who had insulted the way that he looked. And we spread a rumor using a physical rumor mill that his new fiancée, Mitzi, was 10 times more gorgeous than any stupid fairy that would have blown him off. And after our failed wedding, in which we both kind of defeated Gossamer, which was the fiance, but also Mitzi wasn't quite ready to, commit to this level of frog marriage. We all jumped into the lake, and Mitzi threw her bouquet, and we all woke up in our respective universes. If that kind of an adventure sounds ridiculous to you, then good news, it absolutely was. Costume Fairy Adventures is, like I said, a system that definitely encourages you to think outside of the box. Compared to other games that I've played, I was actually really surprised by how demanding the system is of the player. You have to really force yourself to think outside of the box, otherwise things just tend to grind to a bit of a halt. Your DM, as much as they can, are allowed to, put obstacles in your way and help you along, but it was surprising just how much of the development of the story is really put on the players. If you're a table that really enjoys funny little bits, then Costume Fairy Adventures might be fun for you. The main bits, of course, are you get to roll on a table and you get different costumes. The costumes give you different abilities, such as Mitzi's wedding dress. We had a set of Valkyrie armor. We had wizard robes. We had alchemist's clothes. We had a cape and tights, and Maxis was a superhero for a bit. It was definitely a super fun time, and the system is really varied, and it's really easy to play. If you've never played a game before, I don't know if I would recommend this as your very first tabletop game, but if you have people in your life who like playing tabletop, then I can recommend it as a nice game to just get together and have fun with your friends with. And I could not be happier with how everybody turned out, and our game was fantastic. I couldn't have asked for better. Thank you to my patrons who helped me make art, but especially Banjo, Confogel Clips, Deator, and Firepit. You guys are the best. And of course, thank you to you. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit like and subscribe. If you'd like to, there's another video on the screen for you right now. And if you like what I do, you can support me on Patreon. And remember, it's all gonna be okay. See you next time.